Sukham tu idanim trividham Shanu me Bharatarshava Abhyasadramate yatra Dukhantam cha nigacchati.
Sukham tvidanim trividham
Sukham tvidanim trividham
Shanu me Bharatarshava Abhyasadramate yatra Dukhantam cha nigacchati.
Sukham tvidanim trividham Shanu me Bharatarshava Abhyasadramate yatra Dukhantam cha nigacchati.
Sukham tvidanim trividham
Sukham tvidanim trividham
Shanu me Bharatarshava
Abhyasadramate yatra Dukhantam cha nigacchati.
Sukham tvidanim trividham
Sukham tvidanim trividham
Shanu me
Bharatarshava
Abhyasadramate yatra Dukhantam cha nigacchati.
Sukham tvidanim trividham Shanu me Bharatarshava Abhyasadramate yatra Dukhantam cha nigacchati. Sukham tvidanim trividham Shanu me Bharatarshava Abhyasadramate yatra Dukhantam cha nigacchati.
Yat tad agre visham iva Hariname amritopamam Tat sukham satvikam proktam Atma buddhi prasadajam. Sukham, happiness. Tu, what? Idanim, now. Trividham, three kinds. Shunu, here. Me, from me. Bharatarshava, the best among the Bhāratas. Abhyasa, by practice. Ramate, enjoy. Yatra, where. Dukkha, distress. Antam, end. Cha, also. Nigacchati, gains. Yat, that which. Tat, that. Agre, in the beginning. Visham iva, like poison. Pariname, at the end. Amrita, nectar. Upamam, compared to. Tat, that. Sukham, happiness. Satvikam, in the mode of goodness. Proktam is said. Atma, self. Buddhi, intelligence. Prasadajam, satisfactory. O best of the Bhāratas, now please hear from me about the three kinds of happiness which the conditioned soul enjoys, and by which he sometimes comes to the end of all distress. That which in the beginning may be just like a poison, but the end is just like a nectar, which awakens unto self-realization, is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. O best of the Bhāratas, now please hear from me about three kinds of happiness which the conditioned soul enjoys, and by which he sometimes comes to the end of all distress. That which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is just like nectar, which awakens one to self-realization, is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. Purport. A conditioned soul tries to enjoy material happiness again and again. Thus it chews, but sometimes in the course of enjoyment it becomes relief from the material entanglement, association with the great soul. In other words, the conditioned soul is always engaged in some type of sense gratification. But when he understands by good association that it is only a repetition of the same thing, is awakened to his real Krishna consciousness, he is sometimes relieved from such repetitive so-called happiness. In the pursuit of self-realization, one has to follow many rules and regulations to control the mind and the senses and to concentrate the mind on the self. All these procedures are very difficult, bitter like poison. But if one is successful in following the regulations and comes to transcendental position, he begins to drink real nectar and he enjoys life. Vishayendriya samyoga yattat agre amritopamam pariname visham iva tatsukam raja samskritam. Vishaya, objects of the senses. Indriya, senses. Samyoga, combination. Yat, that, which, agre, in the beginning. Amrita upamam, just like nectar. Pariname, at the end. Visham iva, like poison. Tat, that, sukham, happiness. Rajasam, in the mode of passion. Smritam is considered. That happiness which is derived from the contact of the senses with their object, which appears like nectar in the first, but poison at the end, is said to be of the nature of passion. That happiness, which is derived from contact of the senses with their objects, which appears like nectar at first, but poison at end, is said to be of the nature of passion. A young man and young woman meet, and the senses drive the young man to see her, to touch her, and to have sexual intercourse. In the beginning, this may be very pleasing to the senses, but at the end, or after some time, it becomes just like poison. They are separated, or there is a divorce, there is lamentation, there is sorrow, etc. Such happiness is always in the mode of passion. Happiness derived from combination of the senses and the sense object is always a cause of distress and should be avoided by all means. Yadagre chanubandhe cha sukham mohanamatmana nidralasya param pramodattotam tattam samudhayaram. Yad, that which, agre, in the beginning, cha, also, anubandhe, by binding, cha, also, sukham, happiness, mohanam, illusion, atmanaha, of the self, nidra, sleep, alasya, laziness, pramada, illusion, uttam, producer, tat, that, tamasam, in the mode of ignorance, udahritam, is said to be. And that happiness which is blind to self-realization, which is delusion from beginning to end, and which arises from sleep, laziness and illusion, is said to be the nature of ignorance. And that happiness, which is blind to self-realization, which is delusion from beginning to end, which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion, is said to be of the nature of ignorance. One who takes pleasure in laziness and sleep is certainly in the mode of darkness, and one who has no idea how to act and how not to act is also in the mode of ignorance. For the person in the mode of ignorance, everything is illusion. There is no happiness either in the beginning or the end. Or the person in the mode of passion, there might be some kind of ephemeral happiness in the beginning and the end distress. But a person in the mode of ignorance, there is only distress both in the beginning and the end. Om Ajnanathimiratasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namah. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashad Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We know this famous story of Dhruva Maharaj, where he had so much desire. Dhruva Maharaj had a desire, he can have a big kingdom. Somehow he was insulted by his stepmother and he wanted to take a revenge. He wanted to have a kingdom greater than even his father and grandfather. And we know he got guidance from Narada how to worship the Lord Vishnu. His mother said that there is no use of crying. If you want to solve the problem, Vishnu can solve it. Therefore, in any situation for any one of us, there is no use of simply crying. Because any situation, Krishna can solve. Okay? Sometimes people think hopeless condition, no, nothing. Krishna can solve all the problems. So Narada guides him how to solve this problem. He has a problem. He wants a kingdom greater than his father and grandfather. And he is doing austerities to please Krishna, and Krishna comes. That time Krishna comes in Narayana feature. And he touches his head with a conch shell. And Dhruva Maharaj is so happy seeing Krishna. He says, Kacham Vichitvam Apitithya. I was looking for a piece of glass. I got a diamond. He's so happy. Because Krishna, his all senses become very spiritualized. Completely his Savai Bhumsa Parabhakta Yada Bhakti Yadokshade Ahituki Apratiyata Yayatma Suprasidati. Complete satisfaction of the soul is here. So therefore, happiness exists in different platforms. And at that time, he says, my Lord, I don't want this kingdom. I'm feeling actually sad. I came for all these small things to you. I got a diamond. I'm feeling so happy. So happiness are on the different platform. A pig also eats too, but he can eat better things. This is symbolism. In the same way, if some person may be there, he drinks and smokes, he may say that's also happy. Yes, that is tamasic happiness, lowest happiness. In fact, it is not happiness. There is no pleasure in it. Addiction is there, which drags him to do it again and again. Somebody is a drug addict and is again and again putting syringe in his hand. It's paining actually, but he has to do it. Why he has to do it? Because of addiction. He's forced to do it. And then so this is the happiness, which is the lowest happiness in this world. And many sometimes people, we feel compassionate, and that's how Prabhupada did. He was so compassionate. Prabhupada, when he was in America, sometimes people charged the Hare Krishna movement. It is the movement of hippies. And misled by this, there was a song also made. Dam maro dam miti jayagam, na ka naam badnaam na karo. Imagine. He says like that. भगवान का नाम बदनाम नहीं करो. As if Hare Krishna people are spoiling the name of the Lord. Actually, very, very sarcastic song it is. But and Prabhupada said, they asked, devotees asked Prabhupada, should I sue him because it was a very defamatory song. Yeah. But Prabhupada leave it. At least the name of God has been chanted. That's okay. People are foolish. Prabhupada did not want to waste time. But this is what happens actually. People are completely ignorant. There was one person, Prabhupada gave a lecture and he said that, आप क्या कर रहे हैं? आप तो हिप्पी लोगों को नाम, भगवान का नाम जप कराते हैं. Prabhupada said, आप कृष्ण का नाम जप करते हैं? बोला नहीं. Prabhupada said, आप तो हिप्पी से भी नीचे. वो तो हिप्पी होके कृष्ण का नाम जप करता है. आप तो अपने को बड़ा आदमी समझ के भी भगवान का नाम जप नहीं कर सकते. आप तो हिप्पी से भी नीचे. So it is not ordinary to bring the name of the Lord on the tongue. You cannot chant. It is not easy. To sit down and chant the holy name of the Lord, it requires faith. It requires blessing from the Lord to be able to do that. It is extraordinary. Aho bato sapacho vigariyan yat jivagre vartate namatubhyam. It is so auspicious. How glorious it is. Somebody can sit down and chant the name of the Lord. And it is just a matter of time. He will become a wonderful devotee. Now what is happening here, what do we see? So happiness is in different platforms. So in the beginning, you see how Prabhupada handled this. Because Rupa Goswami has said, somehow or another, engage them in Krishna consciousness. Other rules will come later. Other rules will follow. Just somehow give them a pleasure of Krishna consciousness first. In fact, here we are seeing Tamsik, Rasik, Sattvic. Let us just see the definitions first, then I will come to what is the beautiful process of Krishna consciousness, which is even above the Sattvic form of happiness. So Tamasic form of happiness we understand. It's just like a drug addiction or sleeping. Some people sleep 20 hours. Sleeping. That is the happiness. He's addicted to that. So this is Tamasic. It is pain from the beginning to end. There is no pleasure anywhere. Rajoguda is a little better. Rasic man is running. He works hard. Very hard he works. But he wants to enjoy a sense of it. Therefore he works hard. Tamasic man, if you put in his mouth, he will eat. You put in his mouth meat, he will eat. But tell him to go to purchase and go to the shop, he will not go. That is Tamasic man. He is lazy. Rasic man works hard for sense gratification. And today in the society, most of the people are Tamasic, dull, addicted to all the vices. There are some people in society who work hard. And that is what becomes glorified in the society. Okay. And very rarely we see somebody who is sattvic in the society today. Why? Because people are depending on their own intelligence to give up vices. You cannot do that. Prabhupada said, unless you submit to the hearing process. You cannot change the moods. You hear the holy name of the Lord submissively, you hear the words of a pure devotee submissively, you can change the moods. Otherwise you cannot do that. Just by wishful thinking, I will be sattvic from tomorrow. It is difficult. Practically possible, because Prabhupada does say sometimes, with great determination person can do. But Kali Yuga people lack this determination. Actually by your own determination you can be sattvic. Theoretically. But practically people in Kali Yuga have no such willpower. Like Bhishma, he gave an oath and he lived to that whole life. So many times there was the opportunity for him to get married. He said, no, I have given a word, I will be bachelor. Okay? Like this, it is not possible. Kali Yuga people are very weak. Now they will say something, after 2 minutes they will do it. That is their determination. Very weak. We heard about determination previously. So the happiness of a rasic person, why it doesn't come to, generally mostly we see people in society, rasic and tamasic. They do hear about sattvic happiness sometimes, where a person has no interest in sense gratification, he is delighting about pure life. They do hear about that, but we hardly see somebody on it. Why? Why that mistake? Because One reason I cited previously, people are addicted to moderation today. They say, little is okay. Don't become mad. That is tamasic. Little, that is rasic. So when you are already compromising, how do you expect? Just like you say, I'll roam around in the city and have little fever. Get the fever removed now. No. Little fever is okay. No. Little fever is not okay. Rajoguda, the problem is there is harassment of the mind. I don't want that. I should have decided, definitely. I don't want that. Correct? But they do not know the process. Tamoguda, the harassment of the mind is so much, person becomes mad. Or Rajoguda, he lives with harassment. Anytime he will fall down. I let that Tamoguda means madness will come anytime. What is fall down means madness. Anytime he will become mad. Just like if you have a 102 temperature, 102 temperature, any day, any time you have 105, 106, you go mad, you die, you go crazy. Therefore, when somebody is sick, what do you say? Reduce the temperature. We don't say, you live with the temperature. You don't go rather, you take a holiday. And we explained this point many times, but it's very important here coming. So most of the people, what they want to do is that they cannot give up. And why they cannot give up? They don't know the process. Submit to the hearing process. You have to hear to a pure devotee of the Lord. When you hear from a realized soul, what comes? Not moderation, abstinence. You are limited, sir. Your senses are limited, your experience is limited, your intelligence is limited. And you are limited in all ways. And you cheat yourself on top of it. You go to anybody with the addict, he doesn't agree he's the addict. He is a cheater actually. And first person we cheat is our own self. We don't admit, I am addicted to something. Then where is the solution then? Just like we see Parikshit Maharaj, we are reading on the Sunday morning, how sincerely prays to Shukadeva Goswami to save him. If we know we are addicted, how sincerely pray to Krishna. Krishna, please, it's with you. You can do if you want. Correct? We were discussing yesterday on Sunday about when you leave the body, we don't know where we go. Urdham gachanti sastvasta, madhye tishtanti rajasa, adho gachanti tamasa. If you live a life of purity life, you are going back to Godhead. And how much anyway the happy will be a person. Correct? And somebody is not, then he knows he has to take birth again. Madhya Dishyanti Rajasa. And somebody is still worse, has to go to animal form. How dangerous it is. Prabhupada says, we do not know how much risk we are taking. How much risk we are taking for little sense gratification. We are not aware of it. Correct? Suppose you are a doctor and there is an epidemic and somebody is careless. What will you say? You don't know how much risk you are taking. Tomorrow you get conjunctivitis, you will have to cry with tears in the eyes, correct? And he is so careless. Doctor is watching. Doctor will laugh. Are you aware how much risk you are taking? Somebody is smoking. Doctor knows 20 times more or 100 times more the chance of getting cancer increases. But the doctor will say, you are smoking. You are not aware how much risk you are taking. Correct? Doctor will say, no, you are a fool number one. The similar Rajoguda is like that. Person is taking a great risk. Tamoguda is gone mad. So in Rajoguda there may be some ephemeral happiness, but Krishna has warned against that. There may be some so-called little happiness, but it does not satisfy. Tirtyanti neha. There is never satisfaction. You can look at it. Again we think one more time I do. And at the same time I know there is no satisfaction. And at the end it will lead to a lot of problems. It will lead to a lot of problems. Just like Prabhupada is saying, a man sees a woman, oh, beautiful woman, he wants to touch, and then he wants to proceed next so many things. But there are so many problems after that, which he doesn't see in the beginning, which comes later. So that is the nature. Even the society is like that. We are working for exploiting the resources of the nature in a completely unsustainable way. We do not know the problem which are going to come tomorrow. We are working in a crazy way. That is a rasic as an individual. This is also some happiness, rasic, better than tamasic, because there is some pleasure. In fact, Krishna wants in the Bhagavad Gita, yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yonava evate. Then what does it say? Adi Antavantaha Kaunteya Nateshu Ramate Buddha. It's Krishna's word, we should remember this. Submit to the hearing process. Hear this shloka a million times. Think about it from all angles. Discuss this from all angles. Say, or some kind of thing. This shloka is worth $1 billion. Correct? They say, no, this is patented. Yes, Krishna spoke it. Look at the intelligence in it. Krishna says, whatever gratification you have with senses coming from sense object, eyes come in contact with rupa, ears come in contact with some shabda, the tongue comes in contact with some rasa, nose comes in contact with some gandha, and skin comes in contact with the sparsha. The five senses, the five senses of, there may be some pleasure. Very soft cloth handkerchief. Very nice. And sleeping on a soft, so nice. Yes, then you know you have back problem. The doctor says, don't sleep on the soft bed. They advise always flat bed. Why not sleep always? Similarly, tongue wants to drink, wants to smoke, tongue wants to eat meat. It's very attractive. So we have to restrain all the senses. There is some pleasure, ephemeral pleasure, temporary pleasure, but then there are a lot of problems because you transgress the laws of material nature. Sometimes you may say it is legal, so-called government, not the nonsense government. It may be legal as per the government, but slightly you may transgress the laws of the Lord in following the laws of the government. You will go to hell. And not only you go to hell, there is a lot of difficulties even in this life. So a person has to be very careful. And that is the rasic happiness. Sattvic happiness is a person may have some pain now, some difficulty. Just like the following rules and regulations, some difficulty. But at the end there is pleasure. Okay? Follow. It's a little pleasurable to eat Kentucky Fried Chicken, roasted, looks very tasty. So now I'm not going to eat. So it is pain. You're denying something which you want to do. It is painful. Correct? You see friends are all watching movie somewhere. No, I'm not going to do it. It's painful. Correct? So all this kind of so many entertainment that we have in the society are attractive to give them up. It is painful. But at the end, because following rules and regulation, and as you practice Krishna consciousness, you advance in consciousness. And that's why Rishabhadra says, Nayam deha deha bhajami loke kashtana kama arate vidvajami. He said, not in this body you do sense gratification because animals also deserve it. Don't do that in human form. Tapodevya, do some tapasya. Tapasya is always painful. Tapasya means what? Voluntarily giving up what I want to have. Voluntarily, no. It is not good for me. You give it up. That's why in the society I have been telling, there is no training of tapasya today. Tapo or tapasya should not be blind, it should be guided. Divyam, transcendental. Tapo divyam, Puttrakaya and Sattvam. Rishabhadeva is telling his sons, headed by Bharat Maharaj, the Tapo divyam, do the tapasya. What will happen? Shuddhyam sattve. Your sattva, your existence will be shuddhyam, will be purified. Then what will happen? Brahma Saukyam Tananta. You'll experience unlimited spiritual happiness. This is the process of Sattva. He follows rules and regulations and then gradually comes to the platform of Krishna consciousness. Correct? You understood? So Sattva means pain to pleasure. Tapasya is there, then there is Brahma Saukyam Tananta. Unlimited spiritual happiness is waiting. So intelligent person, Sattva means those who are most intelligent people. Prabhupada says intelligent person, helpless person and mad person. Rasic person is helpless, poor fellow. Now he's getting disturbed also. Sometimes Prabhupada says helplessly mad, disturbed, happy. Happy, disturbed and mad. There are three kinds of people in the society. Intelligent person is sattvic. He is happy also. Sattva is the highest happiness we can have in material consciousness. Rajaguda man is always disturbed. Tamoguda man is mad. So if you want to be really happy, you have to change the modes. There is no quick fix. Many people are getting cheated today. Happiness formula, you say there is a meeting, how to become happy, they come fully running. No, sir. You cannot become happy by some conference or by a process like that. Matarina Krishne, Parato Sato Va,
Mitho vipadyet grahavatana adant govi vishatam tamishram punah punah charvita charvanana. Prahlad Maharaj said, the so-called conferences, meetings, some seminars, you cannot become happy. Some workshops. No, sir, that is not the way. Others' effort, your effort, combined effort. That's what happens in any meeting. No use, you will not become happy. How you become happy? Why you are not becoming happy? Grahavatana. You have taken an oath. I will become happy by such gratification. Unless you give it up, nothing will help you. Neither you, neither other people, neither combined effort. Nothing will help you become Krishna conscious. You have to give up this idea that your sense gratification will make you happy. Unless you give up that, you can never come to the proper standard of happiness. Adana gobi vishadam tamishram. Rather, this uncontrolled senses. If you listen to the senses, definitely they'll take you to hell. Vishadam tamishram, they take you thick inside. Punah charvita charana. What is the delight of happiness? Chewing the chew. Chewing the chew. There is the happiness in it. You have seen it 100 times. Again, you want to know. Dull-headed. Prahlad Maharaj, very wise statement. So, what we can understand is that the standard of happiness of a sattvic person is highest. And rasic person, even though there may be pain now, later there is happiness. The rasic person is happiness to pain. Sattvic person is pain to happiness. And tamasic person is pain to pain. Because whatever we are doing now is nonsense and end is still disaster. He is putting syringes inside one after another. Now it is also very painful. You have seen some hands, drug addict hand, unimaginable. Infection also is there. You cannot look at that. If you look at that, you will vomit. But he is going on. Poor fellow. Drug addiction is so terrible. And you cannot stop it. So that is pain to pain. End is also terrible. Somebody is happy in drinking and smoking and all the vices. It is pain to pain. There is no pleasure actually. Poor fellow. But because of he has, unfortunately, he got stuck to the addiction. He drags himself with again. What he should do? So Prabhupada went into America. He knows. If he tells, Prabhupada says a very wise thing. If you want to be a good preacher, Prabhupada says, don't tell rules and regulations in the beginning. People will run away. Because there is no willpower. If you tell people the rules and regulations of Sattva-guna, they will run away. Rather, Prabhupada says, Krishna consciousness is so sweet. It's given by Lord Chaitanya. Even sweeter than what Krishna's proposal is there. Because Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself in a more concession situation. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarvabheva mokshishami masacha. You surrender, then I give you protection. Then I protect you. First you follow rules and regulation. Surrender to me means follow rules and regulation. Do what I am telling. Then I will give you protection. Correct? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does say, come, dance with us. Now who doesn't know who minds dancing? Anybody finds chanting is going on. Everybody likes. Any college we go, we heard programs, students come, anywhere we go, do a public program, here, Kirtan is going on. Very easy, it's not difficult at all. The Prabhupada says, if you, the devotees who are doing the program, are sincere, then you can produce spiritual happiness in their heart. Prabhupada was there in some town and some other organization. The devotees wrote, they were also imitating and started holding Harinam. Prabhupada asked about their organization and he could see they don't follow anything that Gita teaches. Prabhupada said, even they hold Harinams, it will not be effective. No use. Correct? You should be able to produce ecstasy in the heart of the listener. For that, we have to submit to the hearing process very nicely. The more we have advanced in Krishna consciousness, the more we can help other person. And Prabhupada says the words of a pure devotee, even though a material vibration, because they touch the saffron of the lotus feet of the Lord, Prabhupada's word, they can awaken a soul even though he has been sleeping till that time. So words of a pure devotee are so powerful, even though a person has no interest in Krishna consciousness, just by hearing for some time they become interested. Therefore Prabhupada said, let them read my books. Prabhupada said that. Even they read one page of my book, their life will change. Just by that they will go back to God. Prabhupada says sometimes even they read one line carefully, one word. You know, that is just one line came, surrender to Krishna. But because it is from the words of a pure devotee, from the hand of a pure devotee, it is empowered. Prabhupada said, what your 3-minute preaching will do? If they read one line of my book, their life will change. Prabhupada said that. So we should understand the Krishna conscious process is Keval Ananda Kanda. We are not also telling in the beginning people all the rules. Prabhupada did not do that when he was in America. He just was doing kirtan. People are hearing it. So nice, so nice. There is nothing to worry actually. And as the process develops, definitely people could come back to standard. And that's how Prabhupada built up his movement. So this is Krishna conscious processes. Keval Ananda Kanda. Just try. Don't discourage people in the beginning. Prabhupada says don't do that. In the beginning when they come, let them just chant. And then when they want to come close to us, and they already are becoming purified, at that moment we tell them rules and regulations. When they have capacity. When they do not have capacity, you tell them, it is not good, they simply are embarrassing. Okay? Suppose somebody cannot lift 100 kilo. You say lift 100 kilo. You are simply embarrassing him. He cannot lift. You look at it. First make him strong. Then he will lift 100 kilo. He is so thin, lift 100 kilo. I cannot do it. Then you are simply embarrassing him. Why are you telling him now? Therefore, the rules and regulations, be vegetarian, give up drinking. Don't tell him anything. In the beginning, let them chant and dance in the Harinama. Any person, unless he is a Pashuvna, killer of his own soul, any person will enjoy. Anybody will enjoy. Anybody comes and he will enjoy the process. And as he becomes purified by the process, then he wants to be close to us. Correct? Now he has become strong. Tell him lift 100 kilo, then you tell him the 400 kilo. Prabhupada did that. When Prabhupada said, when I landed in America, I had told for the 4 regulative principles in the beginning, you would have sent me back to my own country in the next ship. Please, Swami, thanks a lot, please go back. Because they cannot follow. That's what happened to his godbrother who went to America. In fact, Prabhupada's spiritual master, Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada, sent one of his godbrothers to England. He was a sannyasi. He went to England and he wanted to begin the movement. So there was a governor from America who had come to India. So that, some big personality. He was quite impressed by Indian culture. So he came to that Swamiji, because England was the ruling country at that time of India. So Swamiji, can you make me a Brahmana? Because something he understood. Otherwise, how do they know the term Brahmana? He said, yes, you have to give up 4 bad spices, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex, no meat. He said, impossible. So Prabhupada said, this is not the way to preach. This is not the way to preach. Just chant Hare Krishna. It will come over a period of time. Why you are telling, just like you are teaching in a school, first we tell the student what he can understand and what he can follow. Why you are telling him more than that? He cannot do it. Correct? Therefore, gradually, shanai, anybody can take to Krishna consciousness, and we should know the art of teaching. Srila Prabhupada ki